In this video, I'm going to explain to you how to run coax cable for your TV and internet. And if you're new to this channel, my name's Josh. This channel is all about building your own house, saving a ton of money. So be sure to subscribe, ring that bell so you get notification every time I release a new video, and hammer that like button for me. That's all I ask in return for making this video. So there's a few things you need to know when you go to running this wire that's really important. So let's go to the whiteboard and get started. Before I physically show you how I wired this coax cable throughout the house, I wanted to show you the whiteboard first because I feel like it's easier to understand how I ran it instead of showing you just bit by bit exactly what I did over here. But I'm going to show you that after I show you the whiteboard here. So when it comes to coaxial or coax cable, what I always buy is what's called RG6 cable. So you can get RG6 cable in either dual shield, tri-shield, or quad shield. The more shielding, the more expensive, but the more shielding, the less interference you're going to get in your wire. So there's going to be less chance of signal loss and that kind of thing, or signal interruptions when your data is going through the cable. So that's just something to keep in mind. And I bought tri-shield for this house. It was about $60 or so for 500 foot. So it's not too expensive. It can be found on Amazon, Lowe's, or Home Depot. So just something to keep in mind there as far as price point goes. I don't know how much you want to spend. And clearly the bigger the house, the more wire you're going to need. But this house is 3,000 square foot and 500 feet. It was plenty to do this house. So just so you know about how much you're going to need. And it's for internet and TV. So anywhere you're going to have a Wi-Fi router or a modem, or anywhere you're going to have a TV setting that's going to need signal from either your satellite provider, or in this case, our company here provides TV and internet through the same cable. So that's just something to keep in mind when you're running it from room to room. So if you're wondering exactly how do you run this stuff, well, it's pretty simple. It's similar to how you run electricity to a panel box, but let me show you the breakdown here. So first off, let's go over your providers. We got your internet provider and we got your TV provider, or they both can be the same provider. So in my case, that's what we got here where I live. But let's say they're separate, because you could have a satellite provider, then you can have a cable provider. And again, it both come through the same cable here. So let's take a look. So what you want to do is run all your cables right to a central hub. So you're going to have one location in your house you're going to run home runs to from every one of these. So you're going to run a home run from the hub right to the outside of the house so your internet provider can hook to it. And then you also have a TV provider, so you'd want to run a home run right to where your TV provider is going to be coming through the house. And each room individually that you're going to have a TV or internet source, you're going to want to run right to it. So let's just say each one of these were bedrooms in each corner of the house and on the sides. So you'd run a home run to this bedroom, this bedroom, this bedroom, and let's say that's living room, and let's say that's a media room of some kind. And then it all comes right to this central location. So more or less, like I said, it's real similar to running electricity right to a panel box. So how electricity works, you have your main SCU cable coming into a panel box and you make home runs right to that panel box. So really similar to how you do your coax cable. So now that you understand how to run this stuff, I'm just going to show you physically what it looks like, and then after that I'll show you how I'm going to run the HDMI cables through the wall. So I'm doing all this stuff because the drywall is going to be installed by the end of the week or being started. So I just want to give you a rundown before all that starts happening. When using RG6 coax cable for your internet, I just want to let you know that it's only for broadband internet. It's not for DSL or dial-up internet. For DSL and dial-up internet, you're going to have to use regular phone line for that. So something very important to note if you're going to be running this RG6 cable in your house. So if we take a look here, these are all the home runs coming from each bedroom, the living room, and media room coming into this box. And they are all labeled to which room they're going to. And then we have these two cables that are running down into the crawl space and to the outside, and we got one that we're going to use for TV and one that we're going to use for internet. So the internet provider will hook onto whatever bedroom that we want to place the Wi-Fi router at. So if we want to place a Wi-Fi router in here, we can, or if we want to hook onto, let's say, master bedroom, for instance, not that I'm ever putting a router in my master bedroom, but if I did, they would splice to that and then run it over here into the master bedroom and right here is the home run to it. So that's just to give you a little rundown on how all this works. And as far as stapling this stuff, always staple it within 6 inches of the box it's coming into. And these are just typical wire staples I use for wiring the house, and there's nothing very complicated about that. And I staple this stuff about every 4 foot going up the stud. And then over here, as you can see, I did the same thing. Stapled it there, stapled there, and then stapled there. Just so you can see a real life example, this is a house I built about 5 years ago. This is the internet coming up. And as you can see, it comes over here and spools around and goes right into the house. And I'll show you inside the house where this goes. And this is the cable that's coming off the satellite that runs into the house that supplies the TV. And as you can see, it's coax cable with, it looks like some kind of ground. Okay, I followed this wire up to here before it went into the house from the satellite. And as you can see, they put some kind of grounding terminal here, and it runs down to this little ground rod, and then it goes into the house right here. So pretty similar to how the internet worked, other than it didn't have this ground here. So this is the coax cable going outside to the satellite, and it is coming over here, and it ends right here, and it hooks to the RG6 cable that's ran up to the living room TV receiver. And as you can see here, this is that home run I showed you coming from outside. And it comes here, and then it supplies the internet to the spare bedroom, which powers the Wi-Fi router modem. And then this is when I used to have TV through that internet company, but none of this is in use right now. But as you can see, that's what all that RG6 cable does. It ends up coming to a hub like that. So I just wanted to show you so you had a better understanding how it all finished up. And this is rough, I know, so this would have been better off in a 4-gang box like I just showed you that I roughed in. This is what this stuff looks like up close. As you can see with the jacket off, that there's some kind of aluminum shielding with some kind of white looking insulation, and then there's a copper wire right in the center of it. So that's what it looks like when you strip it. I just wanted to show you that for a complete video. So I just got a package from Amazon in the mail. So I got 2 10-foot HDMI cables and 2 15-foot HDMI cables, and they're the 2.1 HDMI cables because it's for 8K, and it can also do standard 4K or 1080p. And this is Cat 6 Ethernet cable. I'm going to run this from the hub where all my RG6 cable is over to the media room in case I want to add a second Wi-Fi router. And these can be found in my Amazon store. I'll put a link in the description below if you want to check it out. And if you do make a purchase, I do get a small commission, but it's at no extra cost to you if you do make a purchase. But I just thought I'd help you out by showing you what I'm using. So I'm going to go ahead and get these installed, and I'll show you what it looks like afterwards. All right, so let's open this up and see what it looks like inside here. It's made from this company called Coaxial. Never heard of them, but they were on Amazon as the Amazon choice, so I figured it had to be pretty decent. And yeah, they're very good quality. It's kind of a braided material, and I really like that. Again, like I said, it's for 8K. This is the 2.1 HDMI, so it's the latest HDMI. All right, I just want to show you a close-up of the product. So I'm not any way affiliated with that actual company, but I am an affiliate with Amazon, just so you know, like you already know. But just want to show you up close. It has these little caps over the ends, so that'll be nice so no drywall mud can get inside of them as the drywall finishers are doing their thing. Here in the media room, right here on this wall is where I'm placing the TV. And if you remember from my how to wire a room video, I'll put a link to the top right hand corner of the screen here if you want to check it out. But I put this outlet here to power the TV. This outlet was to power the receiver. And then this blank outlet here is for an HDMI cable to go in and come up through. So it's going to hook to the TV up here, hide behind the drywall, and come out to your receiver. And then right here is my coax cable for if I run TV to this room. It's right there ready to go. So I just want to show you my setup. Leave a comment below if this is how you would do your HDMI behind your drywall, or if you would prefer to do some other method. Okay, here's the media room. Here's the HDMI cable ran here going up to the top where the TV is going to be. And I like how these HDMI cables came with this little Velcro piece. So the drywallers can just unvelcro it, fish it through the drywall, and then re-velcro it. And it's pretty nice setup that they offered there. So yeah, that's all there is to running HDMI cable behind the wall before the drywall. This is what the media room is going to look like in the house when it's finished, but this is the media room I built 5 years ago, and as you can see, the HDMI cables are hidden behind the drywall, and it gives a nice clean appearance. And then if we look over here, this is where I actually edit all my YouTube videos. For anybody that's been watching my channel, that's where the magic happens. Okay, I'm going to show you the fireplace next and how I'm going to address that. All right, so as you can see here, I got a blank outlet that I'm going to run the HDMI cable back through this wall, up in through the fireplace, go through the studs, and it's going to exit right here. And then I got my outlet here that's going to power the TV. And I'm going to put some blocking in here to mount the TV to, so that way you don't have to worry about hitting a stud when you go to mounting your bracket, which is very nice. And I also got my coax cable right here for if I'm going to put a TV receiver here, and then my outlet to power my receiver. Another thing I did too was ran a low voltage cable over to this 3-gang box so I can have a blower, have a light that goes above the fireplace, and then the low voltage switch that kicks the propane off and on to the fireplace so you can kick the fireplace off and on. So that's all over there. So make sure you do all this stuff before you get the drywall installed. All right, the HDMI cable is ran up to the fireplace, and it goes down and around, back behind the wall, through the studs, and it comes out right here where the TV receivers are going to be. And as you can see in the back of the box, I just drilled out with a drill bit enough to fit both cables through. That's all there is to that. Here's this fireplace I built 5 years ago, and I wanted to show you how the wiring, coax cable, HDMI cable all worked out. So if you look here behind the TV, I'm going to pull this out real easy. So we have our HDMI cables coming out of that outlet box going into the TV, and we can look up from under here. As you can see, there's the outlet and there's the HDMI cables. So that's how the TV's getting power and the media coming up to it. And it's nice to have the outlet low so you can plug things in like this. That's the wife's doings. Okay, so now let's look down here, and as you can see, here's our HDMI cables coming out of the wall, and here's a spare one not in use, and we have not got a cabinet to put our receiver in yet. And the TV company used that RG6 cable and came out of it to power the receiver, and then there's our outlet to power the receiver. So set up just like you've seen me doing rough in over there, and then this operates the light above the fireplace, and then this is the blower. Hear that in the fireplace kick on. And then the switch for the actual fireplace is right here. It's a low voltage switch, but I don't have the fireplace on yet. So I just want to show you when it's all finished what it all turns out looking like. All right, so I'm going to show you something else you want to make sure you get done too, which it has to be done before inspection anyways. Something else you need to make sure you put on the studs before the drywall goes up is these nail plates or nail stops. All these do is protect the drywallers from putting screws into your plumbing pipe. So very important to put on the studs. Also got to get a couple more for here and here. So anywhere where there's a chance it could penetrate and hit a plumbing pipe, you need to make sure you put those. So really important. And also you need to do things like this. This is something you could easily forget to do, is hook up your final plumbing behind the drywall before you close it in, which is really important. I know if you do your rough in plumbing and you forget to do your final connections now, it's going to be very hard to do something like this later because there is no crawl space. So just make sure you do everything possible before the drywall goes up, because once it's up, it is not coming off. If you've been watching this channel ever since I started this house from the foundation up, I do most of the work myself. And I want to let you know that I do hire some things out, like this insulation, for instance. I know you probably noticed it in the background while I've been filming that, hey, why didn't you make any videos on your insulation? Well, it's because I didn't install it. It's one of those things when you're building your own house, you're better off to hire out. In my case, because I found a group of guys that can get the insulation at wholesale and install it, and I cannot get it for the price they can buy it and install it for. So when you find opportunities like that, you take them. And I just want to let you know, if you want to check out my Amazon store, the link is in the description below. If you do make a purchase through it, I get a small commission, but it's at no extra cost to you, and it supports the channel, and I want to say thank you if you do. All right, guys, I got a lot of stuff I need to get done here today. I want to say thanks a lot for watching, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.